with RWBY News, and this is not a normal news video. This is a news video coming from two RWBY fans who have the worst priorities that you know, because obviously we did not coordinate this. We both wore the Team Coffee shirt completely unprompted from each other.
This morning, I was going to wear the cocoa one. I saw that I had a stain. I thought, no, not the cocoa one. I'm going to clean the cocoa one. Then I saw this shirt, and as I put it on, I thought, there's a real possibility that Cal wears the exact same shirt.
We share one brain cell, so it's gonna be really embarrassing if there is no Team Coffee content in anything that we're talking about. So just to recap, if you guys don't know, RWBY Volume 9 has always been slated to release on the Rooster Teeth website. Crunchyroll had a year exclusivity, and that's basically coming up right now. And so they are going to put RWBY Volume 9 on the Rooster Teeth website for free. That's the first thing, but we already knew that. So Carrie dropped a message on Twitter basically saying this is not RWBY Volume 10 news, but that they are in talks with partners about getting Volume 10 funded, and they talked about everything that's going on. So RWBY Volume 9 will be free, but there are a couple other things going on that are going to be for first members. That is RWBY Volume 9 Beyond, a storybook animation styled anthology series. Will tell the untold stories happening in Remnant during Volume 9 and even beyond. That's a little bit of a run-on sentence. Somebody should have checked that. Cast and crew commentary series, which, yes, like that is self-explanatory. The RWBY Volume 9 Epilogue Animatic Extended, which was the epilogue that they showed at RTX. We reacted to it. It had Raven opening the portal and Team RWBY coming through it, and we also saw Crow and Willow in their drinking problems or lack thereof, like they're both getting better. The Shnees are trying to help out and make up for their wrongs in Vacuo. Winter has all this guilt about, I wouldn't want you to see this, I wouldn't want you to come back because we've fucked up everything. Like Winter has all those lines, and so this is going to be extended, and then we have the new RWBY Grimm campaign. Now, we have not reacted to the Grimm campaign, because I don't know, do people react to Critical Role and stuff? I know people are fans of Critical Role.
People make content around Critical Role, but
I don't think that it's
you
a
can't really react to
reaction-based
something
situation.
so long-term like that.
Yeah, or unless it was reaction highlights. But yeah, we'll just have a little good time, right? And so we want to talk about everything, but I just want to kind of go over, I don't know, the strategy here, if you will, because a lot of people are wondering about things and, okay, well, what does this mean for Volume 10? I've seen a lot of doom posting. There's been a lot of doom posting on Twitter, like Volume 10 is dead.
I'm
it's
dignified.
We're done.
I doom post in my head.
You doom post
but
in
I
private.
keep it to myself.
Like, the fact that Volume 10 has not been confirmed here yet, it does not surprise me, but I also don't think it's that much of a red flag, because a couple months ago, if you guys don't know, Barbara made this post, and in this post, she basically said there wouldn't have been Volume 9 without Crunchyroll. They helped fund the season in exchange to have exclusivity for a year on their platform. Crunchyroll helped. That doesn't mean that they funded the entire season. That means that they funded some of the season. So here is my rat, this is, take it with a grain of salt, what have you, but this is my theory about what's going on. Crunchyroll is willing to fund some of Volume 10, but they don't want to fund all of Volume 10, and the problem is that in the past, Rooster Teeth has expressed for other shows that they are looking for partners to fund the whole show, like Camp Camp. There was a long time ago, and I don't think it's true anymore because obviously Camp Camp's coming back in March, there was the sentiment of, we will make another season of Camp Camp if somebody else foots the entire bill for it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they were like trying to cozy up to Crunchyroll and be like, hey, can you fund the whole season of RWBY?
You're my favorite anime streaming service.
Well, now they're the only one because Funimation just...
I was about to make that joke. Thank you for grabbing it out of my hands before I could do anything about it.
Anyway, so...
The joke was going to be, wait, aren't I the only one? No, sweetie, you're the only one for me.
I think that we can say safely that maybe the reason why they're negotiating...
I love you had emphatic air quotes over safely.
Right, with a grain of salt, whatever, okay? If this doesn't happen, don't come for me. I'm just saying that with my limited professional experience and seeing these things go down for other shows and what have you, PR degree, I don't know. I'm just saying, from my perspective, what's probably happening is that they called up Crunchyroll and they were like, can you fund the whole season? And Crunchyroll was like, no, we'll fund some of it. Get the rest of the money yourselves. And how are they gonna get the rest rest of the money? Well, you have merch, which has historically not been very good. We still have an anti-haul that we haven't gotten out about the emblem shirts, which I do think were the better, like those were the better shirts lately, but in the past year or so, it's really gone downhill. Like it has not been good, right? The other way is through first memberships, and that's where this stuff comes in, because this stuff is going to be a lot cheaper to produce. I'm assuming it's going to be 2D. We don't know. That hasn't been confirmed.
I mean, storybook animated style implies to me a not... It kind
like
of
the fairy tale show.
The fairy tales of Remnant
which
show.
Was 2D.
Which was 2D and didn't always have the most like frames of animation.
Yeah.
A lot of it did kind of feel like you were flipping through a storybook.
Yeah, which is the vibe they wanted to go for, right?
They're doing here.
The crew commentary, again, similar situation. You just get the crew, right? The crew is salaried, right? And so I don't know, like
yeah,
you know,
kind of thought that they already did that. So then there'll be two.
They did, but I think that this is going to be a live stream because they said that they're going to discuss fan reactions and take questions from the first members. So I kind of get the implication. I know that they did it, but this is like, and we'll do it again with audience participation. I live for this shit. I don't care how many times they talk about Volume 9. Like, if they're back talking about Volume 9, even though we heard stuff on the commentary, I'm sure they'll talk about new stuff. I will always be seated. I am the person who unfortunately does want to know how toilets work in Harry Potter, okay? I am that person. So I will always be down for the crew commentary. The Grimm campaign, I think it's fun. Again, I've watched some of it. I think it's a good time.
I have not watched any of it. I'm just not the type of person to really like.
Yeah, but I think if you are the type of person,
I'm sure
you know. The Epilogue extended, okay, so this is where we're getting into, I guess, theories about what's going to be, and I think that we should do two separate videos, like talking about
we
this
decided
news,
to wear this
and then
shirt.
also what we think Beyond is going to be about. So with the Epilogue, right, there's been some confusion around this. People, for some reason, even though they said animatic, think that the Epilogue is getting fully animated. That's not what's happening. They're officially releasing what we saw at RTX without the cut, okay? And here's my rant about this, all right? I'm so, like, serious. I'm so sure. I'm so mentally ill when I say that I think the reason why they cut it, we're just unhinged today. The reason why they cut it, where they cut it, is because they wanted to keep Theodore a secret. Because any further, if we went any further in that animatic, Theodore would be a confirmed, a guaranteed possibility.
It's kind of sad.
There's no way, right?
Which is kind of sad if they do that, because don't you kind of want to save?
No!
I would rather save it. I'd rather not see it or save it, like, you know, don't be desperate. Save it for when you know you have him and it's good and
but I think it's fine, like, because
you
this
know?
was going to be an epilogue anyway, so there's no guarantee that they would even start here. Like, I'm sure that's why they released it. It's because that this is not where they're going to start when it comes to Volume 10 anymore. So I am hoping, I am praying, I do genuinely think that the reason why they cut it is because it was getting in too deep into stuff that they wanted to tackle in Volume 10, and now they've decided, hey, maybe we'll start Volume 10 at some other point in time, and so we can show Trans King Theodore to the public. Okay, that's not confirmed, that's just a headcanon that we have because of something in the novels. To talk about briefly RWBY Beyond, okay? We don't really know, because this is some vague language happening. This is like where a comma may have been needed, okay? Because the untold stories happening in Remnant during Volume 9 and beyond. The confusing part of that sentence to me is that when I read in Remnant, I thought that meant no ever after, no Team RWBY, unless it's after Team RWBY comes back, right? So when they said in Remnant during Volume 9, my mental image was Oscar and Emerald and Nora
from Atlas,
and, you know, everybody from
family.
Atlas coping, basically, right? And so why did you laugh? I didn't mean coping in the social media way.
No,
I
but
meant like actual cope, right?
No, I mean, no, you're correct.
And so that's what I took from it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be what Team Coffee are doing. That's why I wore the Team Coffee shirt, and I'm so normal about that right now. The Team Coffee, the Winter, the Rumple, the Theodore, like what they were doing while Team RWBY was gone, seeing them go through the grief and all that stuff. Some people, though, have interpreted this as beyond, as in the stories happening during Volume 9 in Remnant and beyond Remnant, as in we see Jean 5 years before Team RWBY found him and he's chilling with the paper pleasers.
I mean,
you know,
possibility. I don't know how much you could really do about that, because you kind of know his whole schedule.
I can't really think of where in Volume 9 there is any room for just chilling, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's any room in Volume 9. That scares me, okay? That scares me a little bit. The idea that, like, it's just gonna be Team RWBY, and they use a picture of RWBY in little, which I understand, because that's, right, it's just an image, like a promotional image, but it scares me a little bit, because I'm like, I don't want, respectfully, I don't want to see Team RWBY, okay? I don't want to see them. No, I'm so serious, I do not want to see them at all. We did all that we could. We have milked the teat of Volume 9. There is nothing left to milk.
In
the
my
cow
mind,
has no milk,
in my
Jack.
mind, RWBY's story in Volume 9 was told.
Yeah.
You're basically
So I'm
there
like,
the entire time.
I think in Remnant means in Remnant.
So I'm
Which means
inclined to interpret that as it's probably not going to be very Team RWBY centric.
No,
Yeah.
I hope not. Like, actually, and I'm not saying that to be a hater. I mean that, like, in the most genuine way possible. So, I think that we should do a separate video about what we think that Beyond's gonna be about, because I think that we could talk about that all day. But that is, in summary, the news. And I do think that this is a good idea, right? Because I guess my only concern, are we giving them more money so they can continue to mismanage their money, right? Because not RWBY, I'm talking about management, because obviously during Volume 9, they found out, oh, by the way, you don't have enough budget, like, for the episodes we told you that.
Rooster Teeth is
right?
owned by Warner Discovery.
Like,
Warner
that doesn't
Discovery
make me
is
feel
famously awful right now.
That doesn't make me feel very happy inside, but I
Doesn't
mean,
make you feel great.
the first membership is relatively cheap. We make money off the show. I'm not gonna, be like, oh my god, my $5 that I could use as a tax write-off, how dare they, how dare they make me pay? It's not really a big deal for me. For some people, it's a wait and see situation to see what Beyond is actually about before they actually get hooked, but I think that to me, this move makes a lot of sense, because the problem with Rooster Teeth has been, historically, in my opinion, that they've wanted to cater to, like, the general fans and not really the super fans, right? And the super fans is where you got the money. That's where I think the money is, the people that want that extended material, right? Because they've had that problem before. Like, RWBY was on YouTube, RWBY went off YouTube, RWBY was on the website, World of Remnants were on YouTube, they were taken off YouTube, they were reposted. Like, they've been trying to have their cake and eat it too, in terms of we want to appeal to the general public, and then we kind of do nothing for the super fans except for early access. So this, to me, I'm like, well, this is a super fan sort of situation. Yeah.
Yes.
Carrie talked about, like, oh, this is a patronage, right? And that's kind of what we were talking about a couple months ago was, merch department aside, because they're a mess. What they should be doing is stuff more akin to Patreon.
I love how we say that as we're both
This
wearing...
was nice. I mean, this is Amity Arena art, though, so, like, right, I just bought it because Fox is on it, but,
So what we're saying is that we're lowercase h hypocrites here.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that this makes a lot of sense to me, because now, at this late stage, where people are here or they are not here, there's not really a point in trying to appeal. It's like the people that watch RWBY. Like, you're either here or you're not here. There's not going to be a giant influx of fans, so you have to milk the fans that you already have, the super fans that want to hear every little detail. Like, I would love it if they do more than just talking about Volume 9. Some sort of weekly situation where they go episode by episode, every week, and talk about one episode of the show starting from Volume 1, going all the way back to Volume 8, I guess, if they're doing Volume 9 again. Like, I would love if they did a retrospective like that, because I want to know the tea.
I saw the news and, like, I felt a thing flutter in my heart that I had not experienced in quite a while in regards to RWBY, which was hope.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, they're still trying to make this work, but this still was an interjection of happiness, and I really like RWBY. I want more RWBY stories to be told. I'm a little nervous about the extended. Just because I would just hope that, like, I would hope that you didn't show these really interesting, important parts of the story in the form of an animatic. I don't think it's
that crazy, though. Like, what we saw, it wasn't that, like...
I mean, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just hope that they don't do that. I don't know if it's terribly likely to occur.
I mean, we also have to consider the fact that they wrote that as the ending to Volume 9. So their Volume 10 script, wherever we picked up, was always going to be not there. Like, it was always going to be starting not in that position.
Also, they probably wanted it to be, they probably intended it to be fully animated, very punchy ending, which you always want your ending to be a little more dramatic. Like,
I guess my thing is, Hunter, is that, like, I think that where they ended it is actually the superior choice. Like, I don't think that a whole episode of, and here's what everybody did in Vacuo, like, and then Team RWBY only comes in, like, 15 minutes at the end. Like, I don't think that that was really a good idea, because then it's just ruining the pacing of everything. So, I guess I just kind of disagree with you in the sense that I think that even though they had to cut the episode, I think that RWBY Volume 9 ended in a better place for it, even if they wanted to show that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know?
I look forward to it. It's just, I can't help but think, wouldn't it be nice if it was, like, if we saved this? But then again, do we really know?
It would be nice if we got the schedule of when this stuff is happening, though, because it's like, it's gonna happen weekly, but is it like the epilogue is gonna happen first, and then we're gonna get the RWBY Beyond, or is it gonna be like the RWBY Beyond happen first and the epilogue's at the end? So there's just a lot of vagueness around some of these announcements.
I am the most excited for RWBY 9 Beyond.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
In a very meaningful way, that is new RWBY.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I can't help but feel like
a novel, but not the novel, right?
It's not totally when you wish for new RWBY on a monkey's paw. I wanted new RWBY, we have new RWBY at home. Our new RWBY at home is a storybook animation style anthology series. So part of me feels like, am I so desperate for new RWBY that I'll be incredibly enthusiastic for a thing, even though that thing is not really forward looking or really RWBY as I know it and I want it? And the answer to that question is yes, I am that desperate for new RWBY.
But also, we love the books, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like that is,
the books were decidedly their own thing.
I know. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I'm like, fuck them kids. I don't care about Team RWBY anyways.
RWBY is RWBY. The RWBY books are their own thing. RWBY Volume 9 Beyond.
This is blurring the line a little?
If RWBY Volume 10 is... This is...
Okay.
You know?
I guess so. I question mark. But, like, I guess just from my perspective, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm here. Let's go. I hope that you guys enjoyed our news video. I hope you guys had fun. We will talk about RWBY Volume 9 Beyond separately, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.